So let me show you guys what I got. Of course, I'm wearing my Deutschmeister, my daily driver. Sorry about the wind, it's a little bit windy. But this is what I picked up from the Walmart in Olney, Virginia, which is about 20 minutes north of Cape Charles. This is the watch here that I got, $8.99. It is from George. It says it has a 100-foot water resistance rating, which is possible. It actually has a rotating bezel, and it has this military camouflage kind of thing going on here with dial that seems pretty cool. So the box here, and see what we're looking at. So it is just a regular buckle, nothing fancy. It's a rubber strap. Just two rubber keepers. Both of them move so you can adjust them. Metal case back. Stainless steel, says water resist 30 meters, basically 99, 100 feet roughly on the back. Pattern I talked about earlier, the like camouflage, like military style on there. The 100-meter El Cheapo watch from Walmart that is ticking. The strap is comfortable for what it is. So it sounds like a 120 click bezel that rotates counterclockwise. Let's go back to 12 up here on this thing, and let's check the, so I'm lined up and the bezel's pretty well lined up, believe it or not. There's some Seikos that don't have as good alignment as this cheapo watch here does, believe it or not. Let's check the back play. You guys can see that back play there, boom, from there to there. So it has quite a bit of back play. It's noticeable, but it does work. But compared to this one here, this actual dive watch with the guards here, this is a more precise click. And of course the added benefit of the guards, so that if you're using this for diving work or swimming, you don't, you know, any kind of possibly dangerous work underwater, you don't hit this and rotate it so easily if you're using this to see how much you've got left in your tanks. Whereas this thing here, I can just touch it and it'll move. So, and it looks cool, it does rotate, but I wouldn't actually use it for actual diving, because if you rely on this thing to see how much you've got left in your tanks, and you hit this thing at all and it messes up how much you think you have in your tanks, you might die. So I would depend on this Deutschmeister I've already reviewed, and just wear this one around for style, but not actual diving, because you'll die. That's pretty much it, you'll die. I thought I had 10 minutes of oxygen left. No, you ran out 10 minutes ago. So, yeah. Let me expose this to some bright light real quick, and we're going to see about some looms. I'm going to use the camera's very bright light and let it get some light on the dial. And since it's already dark now, we're going to see how well it looms. It's probably going to suck, but we're going to see what you get for $10. I mean, for $10 it is comfortable. I like the camouflage military theme. I like the fact that the bezel actually rotates. It's not a fake bezel. Alright, so we're going to kill the light and see what this does. Believe it or not, the hour hand, minute hand, and seconds hand, all three of them loom. The pips on the side do not loom at all. So if you were in the dark, you could probably guess what time it is, but you'll have some difficulty because you don't even have a loom pip at the 12 o'clock position to kind of orient yourself to kind of see what's going on. So it does loom, which I'm actually surprised, but there, you know, the loom is not that great. And as I sit here filming this in this GoPro, I'm looking through the viewfinder of the GoPro, and I could see the hands moments ago, but now I can't see them in the viewfinder anymore, but my naked eye can still see the hands. So the loom does loom, but it does suck. But for $10, you know, you know, it is what it is. Now let's take a look. I'm gonna put this real dive watch of mine back on my wrist, and we're gonna compare the loom between the both of them, and you should be able to see a difference in a real one and an El Cheapo knockoff crap one from Walmart. Both of them are up there on my wrist. Deutschmeister real dive watch, El Cheapo Walmart watch. I'm going to put the light that's on this rig I put on my tripod to the highest setting. Put both watches under the light for a little bit. If you're interested in the Deutschmeister review, check out this video. I'll leave a link, of course, in the description if you want to check out the actual dive watch I'm talking about, comparing to the cheaper watch in this video. Thanks. I'm going to turn off this light and let you guys see. You guys can see right away the Deutschmeister, the real dive watch, much brighter loom on the hands. The other watch is still looming, but it's not bright at all, and the Deutschmeister has a pip at 12 o'clock, so you can actually orient yourself to kind of have a better idea what time it is. And of course the indices on the face of the watch loom as well, so you can tell what time it is. And of course the Deutschmeister, as I've talked about before in the video I've made on this Deutschmeister, the loom lasts pretty much all night. The watch is legible pretty much all night. And the cheap watch, I'm sticking it up close to the viewfinder, trying to see it in the viewfinder of the GoPro. I'm right up on the lens, literally, and you can barely see it now. See that green there? My naked eye can still see it, but compared to the Deutschmeister, it sucks. But you know, what do you expect? So all right, so let's go down to the beach, and we're going to put this one underwater after I give it some loom and with the Deutschmeister, so you can see both of them underwater and get an idea what its underwater performance is on this cheap one compared to this real dive watch. Okay, so I'm going to take off my flip-flops and put these two watches in some light. We're going to walk into the waves there and compare them. So this is a pretty cool tripod I have. It's kind of like a selfie stick and tripod, kind of all built into one, so I can remove it and we can take a look at both of these timepieces, kind of give them both some light. So here we go. And so far so good. Of course, the Deutschmeister, no ingress. There's no visible ingress, no visible clouding in the El Cheapo watch either. It's still ticking, so that's a good sign. I'm gonna kill this light, and basically the brighter one will be the more expensive timepiece. All right, here we go. Underwater. And you can see that even underwater, well, you might not be able to see with the GoPro because the eye can see better than a GoPro can, but the cheap one does loom underwater, and the cheap one suffered no noticeable water ingress. So what's my final verdict about this watch right here? Well, it's definitely not my Deutschmeister, so this is going to stay on my wrist, and this one's coming off. But for $10, if you really need a watch, if you need a watch that at least has, or is supposed to have, 100 meters of water resistance, then, I'm sorry, actually 30 meters of water resistance, 100 feet. I'm not even going to edit that part out. Then this is something that you might want to look at from George. It's cheap. Compared to this one, it's crap. Although the strap fits better on this one than this one because my wrist is so small. I'll give it that, but overall it's crap. The bezel does rotate, but it's crap. But considering I only paid $10 for it, consider it, I just had it in the Chesapeake Bay here at Cape Charles, Virginia. Considering that it actually has some loom to it, considering the fact that it's comfortable, and again, no water ingress, it's still keeping time, it's still wet. I'm gonna go ahead and give this timepiece 4 clocks out of 5 clocks, because again, for $10 you're getting a watch that at least tells time, has some very basic loom on it, and makes an effort to actually have a rotating bezel that works, but it's crap. And if you're a diver or have any kind of dangerous underwater work and you need to use that bezel, don't use this, you'll die. Use this one with a real bezel, a real dive watch, and you'll live, or have a better chance of living. This one, yeah, this thing will move, you'll die. So for 10 bucks, and really it was like 8 something with tax, basically right around $10. This is not a bad timepiece for what it is. So I'll recommend it. Thanks for watching, and I've got some more stuff coming for you guys pretty soon. And again, something a little bit different, because we are a budget watch channel, and I want to make sure that we hit actual budget watches, mega budget watches, $10 basically. And so here you go. Thanks for watching.